Everybody, welcome back to another edition of Solutions for the Firearm Industry. My name is Dan Peterson. I own Cerberus Software Solutions. We maker of Merlin and Cerberus LiveScan. Today, we're going to talk about SHOT Show planning, SHOT Show 2025, what it is, how to get the badges, etc., how to lay out the land a little bit, and if you have first-time attendees, hopefully a little resource guide for you. Before we get started, if you like what we're doing here, hit that like and share and subscribe. So every time we put a new episode up, I know it's been a gap since the last one. We're going to get better on that in 2025. So you get notified of it. We're on YouTube, we're on Spotify, wherever you intake your media. So with that, we're going to get started. If you don't know what SHOT Show is the largest expo of firearms for the firearm industry. 75 some thousand attendees in Vegas for about a week. It's coming up in a week and a half from now. Today's January 8th. SHOT Show opens on the 21st. We're traveling on the 19th. Shows on the 21st through the 24th. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then there's also some other pieces that open early. We'll talk about that a little bit here too. So, but it takes over basically the Sands, the Venetian Expo, and Caesars Forum in downtown Vegas. So, great time to meet industry folks, to see new products, to see what's out there coming, as well as to build relationships and to do it. So, good chance to go see those people out there. So, you start here. This is the SHOT Show website. So, it's shotshow.org. There's a registration button in the middle here, and I'll talk you and click on that. It'll take you up here. So you can click through this. The pieces, the show is open only to the industry. So you have to have an FFL, you have to be employed by an FFL, etc. There's also media and some other credentials you can get in government, some other pieces, but you have to have a reason for being there. It is not a consumer show. You can't buy anything there directly, as in cash and carry. You can cut POs, you can cut orders, but you can't buy anything or physically trade currency for goods at the show. So they want buyers. They want people that can go and cut and stroke POs and checks and orders. That's what NSSF wants to happen there. So the buyer is the by far cheapest ticket price into it, and every NSFF member gets one free buyer badge, and I think the spouses are dramatically reduced. But on the bottom here, there is a vendor fax. Attendee and vendor fax. I clicked on that one here, and it'll show you what the badge prices are and what's going on. So clearly, if you are a buyer, this is where they want you to be, or if you're a military buyer, it is. And then they actually color code the badges for the exhibitors. Really slick, really nice. Targets who we talk to, i.e., like media. Last show was blue. So for me, I had a little interest in talking to the media. So I did not. We could bypass them as they showed up, right? And then there's a bunch of questions on here that you can do. You need a unique email address. You have to be associated or on a letter or on a license. And they do ask for all the documentation if you're not a vendor. So where is it? Right. So it's at the Venetian. I'm going to flip this to the satellite. So the SHOT Show, if you've never been, takes over basically this entire chunk of this building. Now it has expanded in the last couple of years into this building. There's a bridge that connects them. The new sphere thing, which is kind of freaky to see in the background, but the sphere thing is back there. And then the big high roller Ferris wheel is this thing right here. So if you zoom out, I'll go back to this view. You zoom out basically right in the middle to the middle-ish north of the strip. This is the strip here. So it's centrally located by all of the hotels here. We have historically stayed in the Link, which is this one, and Harrah's, because they basically connect. We always get a booth. We've been getting a booth in the Venetian, or sorry, in the Caesars, and it connects to it. So we can walk to quote unquote work every day. And then Bellagio's over here. So that's where it's at. Easy to get to. Fly into McCarran Airport. LAS is the airport code, and typically there's wicked cheap flights, depends on how you fly into it. And then there's lodging you can get. A SHOT Show does have usually a block that you can kind of get to. Otherwise, if you book through your preferred agency or through hotels.com or whatever, you can typically get it. And there's also guys that have been doing Airbnbs and VRBOs just off the strip. So for us, we stay at either Harrah's or the Link, and the reason is we can walk to work, and it's really, really convenient for us. So The ability to walk there, and we have a booth of 5, 6 people that we typically staff with. So for the ability of them to come and go a little bit, go back to the hotel and get something or take a break, whatever, it's worth it, as opposed to having an Airbnb where you gotta Uber or Lyft off-site or bus or whatever, right? So all that stuff. The monorail also is a thing too. So the monorail connects, and that's a discounted rate, I think, for the week of SHOT Show. Otherwise, it's relatively inexpensive. But there also are buses that will transport them on some schedule from across. So I know one year we stayed down at MGM or at Excalibur, and there was buses that ran a couple times in the morning and then in the evening to shuttle people in and out. So you don't have to stay right there. It is more convenient and we prefer it, but sometimes the further you get away, we stay at Circus, but my wife refuses now to stay there. So she didn't stay there actually. It's just all perception. But anyway, we'll go back to that. So once you get your badge, go back here, attendee, walk through that process and put the paperwork in. Once you get in, there's a thing called the show planner. Okay. And I'll come back to this in a little bit, but I want to talk a little bit about the show floor. So if you click to the show floor, and conveniently, by the way, Cerberus Live Scan, we are booth 75422 over in the Caesars Forum. I'll explain what that means in a little bit. Put it on your planner, put it in your mobile app, and then come back to it. But lay of the land a little bit. This is the show. So Caesars Forum, the Venetian, and then some of the extra levels in here. So the main show floor is actually Venetian level 2. And then the basement, we lovingly refer to it, is level 1. There's law enforcement annexes in there that are specifically geared really for the tactical law enforcement gear. And then Caesar's Forum is basically an expansion of level 2. There's some bigger booths over there, small booths as well. But like your level 2 is your name brands, 2-story, 50 by 50 monstrosities of booths. Level 1 is beneath that. A lot of those are 10 by 10. There are some larger ones, but they are typically your 10 by 10 ones. And then Caesar's Forum is kind of is halfway in between. There's some bigger booths over there and some builds over there, as well as some small stuff. And this year, newer is the archery piece of it and whatnot. So we're just gonna click through some of these. So Venetian, let's start with the main show floor. This is the main event, as they call it. But these are all of your big guys, right? So Smith, Remington, American, who else is in here? Beretta. So these massive booths are Glock is over here. So these are the ones that your name brand type stuff, and then the bridge connects it over to Caesars. Okay. If you look at this though, so this is the main floor, and then around the corner there's these smaller ballrooms, and these are the law enforcement ones. So if that is what you want to are interested in and where you want to go, the law enforcement stuff and tactical gear and riot gear, that kind of stuff is really in these smaller ballroom annexes, and it's that. So registration is, I think, on one. I'll have to look that up. But anyway, let's go downstairs to the basement. So if you notice, these are all relatively cubed out. They don't have the ceiling height in them, so they can't do the 2-story builds. There's lots of things down here. Our registration is there. So typically when you come in, registration is here, and then there's an escalator up to 2, and then the doors will open to the main floor here and walk in. And again, more law enforcement ballrooms here. The escalators all work on the Venetian side, and then this also is the new product center. They spin that around a little bit, but this is where the latest and greatest and new products vendors pay to have their item in there, so they can showcase it. Can't take any pictures, but it's really just kind of a tease of, hey, this is a new and cool thing, and then go visit us in our booth and check it out. So a level 2 main floor, big booths, huge booths, and impressive. They actually, on setup day and a couple days before, they'll literally drive semis in here, and they'll be offloading the crates and stuff off the semis. It's impressive as hell to watch. Downstairs basement, smaller booths, the vendors that enjoy being down there, and then we are over in Caesars. So Caesars has two ballrooms or four ballrooms basically and meeting room setup. We are down over in this one. So this is Dead Air. This is us, Cerberus, and then Allen Arms. All good places I highly recommend stopping by. This is the bridge here that connects them together. There's some timing as to when that opens it up. This is the new business or archery pavilion that they're doing. They're trying to focus that purely on archery stuff. So that's new for this year. And then the ballrooms and stuff up here. So, um, and then this guy over here, Shot After Dark, is a big outdoor pavilion, and they typically will have some music and some drinks and sometimes some food out there after the show. You just got to pay attention to the show and what's going on. So, some of the things, if you notice, there's two other tabs up here. So, Supplier Showcase. This is Monday and Tuesday. So, Monday before the show technically opens, and Tuesday, which is the first day of the main show. These are all B2B suppliers for industry. So if you are a manufacturer and you're looking for a spring and pin supplier, you would find them in here. Or if you're looking for a cardboard or packaging supplier, you'd find them in here. Or a machining, or a Cerakote, or an anodizing, or whatever. The supplier showcase is targeted purely for B2B, the suppliers of industry that supply us in it. So everything from I think Laura Morgan's going to be in there and Payrock, pay processors through K&S pins. If you need AR and AK pin build stuff. So that is only 2 days. They are small booths. And it's a chance to get through and meet some of those people. There's some laser guys in there, all kinds of stuff. So depends on what you're looking for, but if you can put that on your calendar, put that there. And then the other one, near and dear to my heart, because this is where we started 4 years ago. So the extra stuff. So this is January 22nd and 23rd. So this is Wednesday and Thursday. And these are the new up and coming. So these guys have a small booth. They have, it's like a 6x8 booth, pretty much just a table and some of their wares. But this is first time attendees. So they have a shot typically as a package for these guys to get the booth and the table and the power and all that kind of stuff they need, and it gets them in the door. So these are your new vendors, new products, innovation. Many times they will also have some of this stuff into the new product pavilion area. But this is up on the Venetian fifth floor, Wednesday, Thursday only, and it's for the new guys. There's a discrepancy here. I think it's Wednesday, Thursday, which is those dates there. So, but Wednesday, Thursday, and it is your new up and coming guys. So, how to use the map, right? So, you can click on this and you can zoom in, and you can hover over these guys and click on them. But the power of this thing is you can type in a company you're looking for. Cerberus Live Scan, it's us. CF means Caesar's Forum, so that means it's over there. And if I click on this, it's going to highlight and take me exactly where the booth is. So for your reference, again, Caesar's Forum, 75422. We're going to have Merlin and we're going to have Live Scan on display. We're also going to be over in Allen Arms. These guys, right? Really, really good guys there. And then Coreware up in the ballroom up here. Coreware 72627 up there. But you can search for whatever you're looking for. You can also search by kind of category, search by some keyword stuff. It'll pull a bunch of stuff up for you. But if I click on it, it's going to pull up a bio of the company and a little bit of what's going on. And if I click on the logo or more company, it's going to take me to this guy. So here is where I can add it to my planner, which would be the mobile app. I can make a booth appointment, or I can make an online, or I can initiate chat. Again, 75422, swing by. If you're a Cerberus user or a Merlin user, enter to win a cooler, cool stuff. And if you're not a user yet, stop by, see what we got for deals specifically on Merlin. So but you can make appointments in here and you can build up stuff. And this is one thing I highly recommend, especially on the SHOT Show Planner. That basically is your to-do list or your favorite list inside of the app, as well as inside of your profile. So that helps you organize the show so you don't miss anybody, quote unquote. So if there's a short list, 10, 12 people that you really, really want to see or you want to get to, you can add them to the show planner and make sure you understand what you're getting into. So recommend that. work through those pieces. If you can make appointments, it helps organize some stuff a little bit, but make sure you hit those appointments and make sure geographically, you don't have an appointment on this side on the far, you're not over in Venetian level 2, and then you have to go all the way to Caesars 15 minutes later because it's not going to happen. So it is probably a 30-minute walk, 45-minute walk corner to corner of that building if you touch nothing. So it's huge. We averaged about 10 miles a day of walking. So wear comfortable shoes. That's when we were attending. Now that I'm an exhibitor, I really actually don't leave the booth a whole lot because people are stopping by and coming to me on some stuff. And then there's people I'll go and talk to, and I got some meetings with some good things coming. But so comfortable shoes. We average about 10 miles a day, and that's basically show and evening. Recommend a small backpack. The bigger the backpack, the more crap you grab. So recommend a small backpack for the stuff you really want, and then take pictures of any of the marketing material. On the badges themselves is a QR code. So if the booth paid for the QR code reader, then they'll scan that. They'll have your email address and contact information or whatever you put in your profile during the application. And then they can send you stuff afterwards. There's also some things that can trigger automatic sends and stuff. But basically, if you scan your QR code, you'll get an email. So I say a small backpack with some of the things that you really want to take and make notes and physically have in your hands. And the rest of the stuff, email it in. It's preferred. So business cards, make sure you got business cards with you, or one of the QR codes, or the other type digital business card stuff. I prefer to collect business cards as I go. I can make a note or two on it, and then I can add it to my contact stuff. And with that, a Sharpie marker too. So I have a Sharpie marker on my badge holder. I can make notes on it. And also with that badge holder, I have kind of a methodology to it. There's a couple different pockets on that thing. So the ones that I must follow up with, and really important contacts that I need to get back to, I put in one spot. The ones that I have need to get to shortly or quickly, it goes into a different contact, and then just some general contacts may go into a different pile. So a methodology on how you organize those cards, what notes you put on those cards, and then the follow-up pieces of it. And then I try to each night go through those cards and write them down and make sure that I have the to-dos and going on. So, we're spending a lot of money, both from when I was attending as well as an exhibitor, to get basically these contacts. So take the extra time before goofing off that you go through, write down those contacts, get them in a spot that you can use them, so that you get some return on investment on it. So also a plan, mentioned it before. So utilize the SHOT Show planner, utilize the map type stuff, but add it to your to-do list. Make those appointments so you know what's going on. The show is a bear and a monster. A lot of guys will start on the Venetian level 2. Guys, we'll start here on level 2 Venetian. And again, these are all your big name guys, and they'll kind of look and wander on day 1-ish, and then business will happen on the basement and over at Caesars. Because those are the guys that you want to see and you want to make contacts with. So a lot of the neat, cool stuff, generalities here, but neat, cool stuff and impressive displays are in the main floor on level 2, and then the business happens everywhere else. So. Well, the notes I have. So range day Monday. If you're asking about it, then you're probably not going to it. Range day is hosted by some of the larger manufacturers and vendors. They go out to a range 45 minutes or so from downtown Vegas, and they get to shoot everything and show off the latest and greatest. So that's Monday. The supplier showcase, as I mentioned before, is Monday and Tuesday. The extra, which is the new vendors, that is Wednesday and Thursday, and that's up on, I think, the 5th floor in the Venetian. And then the other one to pay attention to is what's called Shot After Dark. Those are kind of hosted social hours after, I think it is Wednesday, Thursday, typically. And those are on that patio over by Caesars. So this great outdoor plaza on the south, I think that would be, is over there. So that's something to check out too as the week winds out. There's also some other there's some nightlife packages you can buy into, hosted by Shot Show, basically club entrance and some other stuff. We haven't done it. We've just greatly amused ourselves walking the strip and finding some of the CVS and Walgreens beverages, and then walking and talking and enjoying and finding some of the locales. So hope this helped out. Hope it demystified a little bit and pieces of it and gave you a little bit of insight on it. If you like what we're doing, come check out our website. Website is Peterson Farms with an S USA.com. There you can find out about Cerberus. So Cerberus are our flagship software, digital fingerprints for FFLs. We can do EFTs. We can do help with the Form 4s and automation and Form 1s, and some comparison on the field competition. And then the map is live and getting fuller. So closing in on almost 600 locations nationwide. So that's exciting. Merlin is our other software that we have. So Merlin is our distribution search tool. So we can plug into currently 22 different warehouses and vendors. And this is the list of them here. So we're the only one with Allen Arms that we can feed from their data feed. And it's awesome because you can see as soon as they stock stuff. Countrywide just gave us some of the credentials. So we're going to work through that probably after SHOT and the trade show series here. But these are all of the ones that we are currently using. From the last video I did, Hicks Inc. was added, and probably Kinsey's from the last video a couple months ago, or maybe even more than that. So, but this is the current list of them. We can pull data from 22, and we can order from 10 of them. It's a monthly subscription, discounted for Cerberus live scan users, and a fair price for those that are not live scan users. So again, my name is Dan Peterson. I own Cerberus, and we have Cerberus Live Scan and Merlin softwares, and we're working on a couple other ones. So we'll talk about that at SHOT. Hope to hear from you soon. If you got anything you want to see, please let me know. Thank you.